For people, welcome back to our channel and thank you so much for joining the channel today. So guys, if this is your first time here, do not forget, click the subscribe button down here. It should be below this video. All right, click the button and subscribe, because if you do subscribe, YouTube is going to recommend this video to a lot of people and also tell them that we have amazing content here. On this YouTube channel, I do talk about study abroad opportunities and everything that you need to know about migrating abroad. If you are looking for videos for every country in the European Union or countries in the West, then I will advise you to subscribe to this channel and make sure you keep watching more videos so that you get the material whenever I drop them. Let's talk about Canada. Yeah, a lot of international students actually think that having more money in their bank account is a fast way to give them a visa to Canada. No, it is not a fast way. It is not a fast way, and it is not the option that is going to give you the visa to Canada. Of course, proof of funds is just one of the criteria that is going to give you a visa. So you have to note all of them. Remember, even if you are thinking that you need a lot of money, or that if you have a lot of money, you are going to move to Canada, I'm here today to tell you that it is a lie. Let's first of all take a look at the flashback, or maybe the background story. According to IRCC Canada, you need to have at least 1 year of your tuition fee, which I often encourage internationals to have at least 2 years of their tuition fee in their bank account. Then, according to the same IRCC, you need to have 10,000 Canadian dollars for your living costs. That's money for accommodation, tuition, and not tuition, accommodation only, food and everything. Then they still want you to show that you have some money, like maybe $3,000, $4,000 or $5,000, that you can use that money, pay your flight and exit Canada. Remember, when you are applying for a visa to Canada, you are applying with the intention that when you finish your program, you are going to return back to your home country. So IRCC expects you to meet all these requirements. Now, this is their requirements. I always tell international students to get at least 2 years of their tuition fee. Okay, now what if you have a lot of money, more than the amount that they are requesting? Let's say you have even 2 years of your tuition fee complete and maybe 20,000 Canadian dollars instead of 10,000 Canadian dollars. I mean, a lot of money in your account. What happens that somebody will have this money and still be rejected? Well, there are a lot of reasons and there are a lot of factors. I'm going to be giving you 3 or 4 different reasons why you can have this enormous amount of money in your bank account and still get rejected. If you didn't know, my name is Milton. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Thank you so much. So if your money in your bank account doesn't reflect the sources in which you are getting the money from, it is a big problem. If you are getting money in your bank account on a regular basis, like maybe today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, it is a big problem, especially with the business accounts. If you are getting money into your account every day, it is a problem. That's why I have never encouraged anybody to use a business account, because I know the issues. The embassy will be like, what if your visa is granted and your partner moves to China to buy goods and use all the money? What if you are facing some crisis and your supporter who is doing the business doesn't have money? Because money for business you can use today, tomorrow you cannot have it. You can use today, tomorrow you may not have it. You understand? So IRCC is going to ask all these questions. Now, if you have a normal, let's assume that you are not using a business account and you are using maybe a current account. Let's say maybe you do not have all this money to prove to Canada, right? But you have some people who want to give you the money. Now, you took the money from them, you put 500K today, 500K tomorrow, 500K, 500K, 500K for like 7 days to complete your money. Okay, what happens now? Let's look at it from another angle. If you put this money like this, it is putting the money. Remember that you are working. Let's assume that you are working. Let's assume that your salary is 100K. And you are equally going to show documents of your salary. You are equally going to show your payslip, your employment contract, right? Now, that money in your account, 100K, 100K, 500K, 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 it doesn't reflect the amount of money you are earning. So IRCC will be like, okay, now, This is your pay slip, and this is the money coming to your account. It doesn't correspond. What is going on? This is the question IRCC will ask themselves. Now, you are the one to tell IRCC where you got the money from. If you got the money from your parents, or maybe from a friend, or let's say from your parent, if you took from a friend, the best alternative to do is to put the money in bulk in your account, then tell your father or mother to write you a gift deed letter. Don't tell your friend to do that. Now, if you have the money coming in from your other petty businesses, my advice to you is to register one of those businesses so that you can show the business registration documents. Now you are not showing to you are showing to IRCC, right? Because they are the one processing your visa. You show them the business registration documents, all the documents for a legit business. Now, on your letter of explanation, you are going to explain that your salary is this, you earn this, you work here, you earn this, but you have extra sources of income where your money is coming from. You add pictures if you want, but make sure you do, if you have a business, make the document. Maybe if you have a plot of land where you have palm nuts, palm trees, and you're harvesting them and selling, why not bring the document to the table and tell them this is where I'm getting my extra cash from, aside of my part-time job or full-time job or side hustle. That's the first option. In case the money is too much or going into your account in such a funny way, like 500 today, tomorrow 500, next tomorrow 500. At least if you are a businessman, we will understand. But salary cannot be like that. So please put this into consideration. Now we have talked about too much money in the account. Let's say maybe you have a friend you wanted to borrow the money from. I will advise you to maybe indicate that you have a business. You understand? Indicate that you have a business where you are getting the money from. For example, if you do anything online and you are being paid by maybe Google or whosoever, bring the documents to show that you are being paid. When they go now to your bank account, they are going to see the amount that is coming from Google. You understand? And you make sure you explain that you are also being paid by Google. So when they go to your bank account, they will see that transaction, or they will be seeing such transactions, and you will not be questioned again. So this is how you reflect on this thing and do it properly. Now, that's when money goes in excess. If you are self-employed, try to register your business. Don't come and ask Milton that, Milton, what should I do? I'm self-employed. Go and register your business. In this traveling of a thing, you need to be reasonable. You need to think. You need to be smart. You need to be active in order to actually win the battle. You understand? So this is what you need to do in case you have excess money. If you took from friends, from Jangi, from neighbor, and just bomb into your account without explaining, they would deny you. Few days back, someone booked an appointment with me from Nigeria, and I saw the bank statement, 700k, and stuff. They actually booked the appointment, but the visa had been rejected. So this is why I have always said that if you need a one-on-one appointment with me or consultation, check the video description box and book from there. It is important. All right, book an appointment with someone before you go for visa. Don't go and you are rejected before you come back. It doesn't make sense, right? Excellent. Another issue that can lead you to a rejection if you have a lot of money in your bank account, if you can say you will step out of Canada. If you can actually prove that you are going to leave Canada after your programs is finished, then they will give you the visa. But if you cannot prove that you are going to leave Canada after your program is finished, you may not get this visa. Now, how are you going to prove that you will leave Canada if your program is finished? Because remember, these people, they are not looking only at your proof of funds. After they tell you this issue of proof of funds, they are equally going to write some other rejection reasons. And most of the time, the people that get proof of funds rejection, they will always get their stuff accompanied by other reasons. So now, if you can prove that you are going to leave Canada after the end of your study, that's excellent. And how do you prove that? Now, if you are working, you could tell them that, okay, you want to study this program. When you come back, you look for extra jobs. Remember, the job you are getting when you leave Canada to your home country should be a job that is at least heavy enough. All right, or where the salary is different from yours. And to prove all of this, to make them legit, you need to go to your company and plead with them to write such a letter for you. It's important. It can guide you. All right. If they are writing a letter to say that you will come back and continue with their company, they should be able to improve your role. Let's assume that maybe you are a sales girl in a company and you want to go and study sales and marketing. When you now come back, you should be able to leave sales to managing director or manager of that company. This is how proof of funds will help you. Now, if you are going to be come back, if you are going to come back and look for other jobs, you should be able to defend yourself when it comes to that. Do not forget, it's very, very important. You should be able to defend yourself. Again, another thing I would like to emphasize on is this issue of family ties or home ties. Home ties are the things that you own back home that will help you to return back to Nigeria, Ghana, or Cameroon. So when you are maybe doing your videos or when you are doing your research, try to follow up a lot of news outlets, read a lot from the internet so you also know all of these things. There is home ties, there is financial ties, there is business ties where you show various documents. For home ties, you are going to be using your kids, your wife, your father, your mother, especially if your father or mother is sick and you can prove that to IRCC. Your sister, if you have a sister, your father, your mother, if they are still in the village and maybe old and stuff like that. If you have a business, you bring it in and say, these are the business registration documents. These are everything I own about the business. I do not intend to stay in Canada after my studies because I have already drafted, because you have to work. Yes, because if you are saying that you are not going to remain in Canada, it means that you already have a plan. You already have a plan. You should be able to have a plan. Or you should be having a plan that you are going to work with, right? Excellent. Now, another thing you need to understand is that home ties is not only related to father or mother or sister. It can go to your auntie, your uncles. You just need to prove the relationship between the two, okay? Your uncles, your father, everybody can do home ties for you, home ties documents. But most of the time, it's important that this home ties should be for your family, your entire family, your landed properties, or maybe houses, or maybe plots of lands, all right, like palm plantations. If you can prove that you are getting money from those areas, then it is very important. Your business will also help you generate a lot of money. But now, what is going to help you come back to your home country is that same business, are those same properties, your family, because you cannot run away and leave them behind. Even if you want to leave your family behind, it should not be. All right, let's not talk about that one. Now, let's go to the next program. The next thing that may cause your visa to be rejected if you have a lot of money is the wrong program choice. Remember, I have always said this here. You cannot be a high school leaver, or let's say somebody who is going to the university and you are not applying. Okay, let's say you want, instead of you to apply for bachelor's, you are applying for master's. You cannot succeed. Okay, now, another thing is, a bachelor's holder going for bachelor's degree after 5 years away from school. It doesn't make sense. If you want to apply for maybe anything bachelor's or below, you should be applying for something that is more than a bachelor's degree. Now, it shouldn't just be more than a bachelor's degree. You should look into your schedule. Let's assume that you graduated maybe 4 years ago and you have been working for the past 4 years. Now, when you are looking for a program to graduate from, which program are you going to be looking? The program you graduated in school or the one you are working? Is the present job you are doing? Let's assume if you are a sales personnel, you should be looking for schools that are going to offer you sales programs. If you're a financial accountant or maybe an accountant, you should be looking for schools that will give you maybe a diploma in accounting. Now, this is the program course, all right? Let me say the how the program works. Now, a part of the programs, you still need to show other things, right? Now, if you go into the wrong program, when you leave school with accounting, you have been working maybe as a security officer. Instead of you to look for security programs, you are looking for accounting programs. It doesn't make sense. If you left school long time like a teacher, you should be looking at curriculum studies, okay, to apply for. Not something that you graduated from 4 years ago, maybe English literature. No. You should look for a program that has a direct link to what you are doing at the moment, so that when you are trying to write a letter of explanation, it would just fit in. It would just fit in. So this is what I mean by wrong program choice. You cannot graduate 2 years ago with mathematics and now you work as a chef instead of you to apply for the chef programs or a course that related to a chef. You are now applying for maybe English literature for masters. No, it doesn't make sense. What have you been doing long time? That is what we call program choice. You have to explain all of this so that they actually understand. And when you're explaining this, you have to be backing them with documents. Okay, especially those who are going on education. There is a technical way you have to write all of these things, and if you follow all my videos with this one, you are going to see everything. Having too much money in your bank account does not guarantee you a visa. And for those asking me if visas are cheap, there is no cheap visa. There is no easy visa. If you are looking for anything easy, go and sleep on your bed and begin to rest. Forget about JACPA. JACPA is not an easy process. I'm just being frank with you. All right. So wrong program choice will lead you to a lot of programs. Those of you who have been asking me if bachelor's and master's holders can apply to diploma programs in Canadian colleges, of course you can apply, but you must defend yourself why you want to study that program. Okay. For example, you are working as a financial manager. Instead of you to look for a program that is related to finance or business finance and apply to a college, you go and you are applying for biology. They don't correlate because you graduated with biology 4 years ago. That is not what you are doing now. You are a financial somebody now. So you need to show your link between the two programs before you can get your visa. So this is how it works for Canada. You can have a lot of money and still be rejected. Like I said, someone contacted me a few days ago. I was like, why will you do this? So please put this into consideration and work very hard till we meet again.